Hello and welcome to a new series on Spooky Day called Rush Duel Review. If you don't know what Rush Duel Review is, well, you don't know what it is because it's the first video in Rush Duel Review. Basically, I am a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Specifically, the side format that's been going on for a couple years now, well, 5 years. I guess not really side format, it's a whole new product called Rush Duel. Rush Duel is basically Yu-Gi-Oh! For the modern age. There are a lot of rules that differ, but and there are too many for me to get into now, but you'll see it as we get into the games as I sort of explain what Rush Duel is. But I figured today is Halloween, and for our inaugural episode of Rush Duel Review, we'll be playing a couple spooky decks. I've got about 5 lined up for you. And this one here is the first one, the Necromaids. They are zombie maids. Wow. Shocking, isn't it? What's the Japanese card game do? Let's make maids, guys. We gotta have a maid deck. Um, but I digress. So, Necromaids are a group of light fiend, not light fiends, light attribute zombie type monsters. They have some ritual monsters, and you'll notice for a lot of these cards there is no artwork. The simulator that I am using is Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega. And there's just so many cards that it takes a while for certain artworks to be put into the game. So, unfortunately, a lot of these cards you will not see any artwork for, but it's just how it is. We have to make do. But let's start with our deck list for Necromaids. This is more of a pure Necromaid deck based around light zombies and their ritual monster. Two ritual monsters. Now, as you'll see, if you're familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh, you're probably thinking, what are ritual monsters doing in the extra deck? Well, in Rush Duel, both fusions and rituals are stored in the extra deck. So this means it's actually a lot easier to get ritual monsters out because in the main game of Yu-Gi-Oh, in what's called Master Duel, or Master Rules rather, you would need to have the ritual spell, the ritual monster, and the ritual monster's materials in your hand or on your field. It was arguably too much for not too good of a payout. Um, and so rituals, aside from a couple decks like Drytron, Necros, in the main game, haven't really seen much use. But here in Rush Duel, actually, they're a lot easier to get out because they reside in the extra. Now all you need on the field is the ritual spell and the monsters on the field. Because one of the things about Rush Duel is that you can normal summon infinite times per turn. So it's a lot easier to get ritual monsters out when you have essentially nigh infinite monster material, as long as you have monsters in your hand and on your field, to ritual summon. So, anyway, let's start with our deck. First up, 3 copies of Necromaid Carriage. And as you see over here on the right, the text box is different. The art will use Necromaid Nana, just as an example. Things are a lot bigger. The level, instead of being individual stars, is now just one big number. Attack and defense are color coded, and effects are now broken up too in requirements and effect. So the requirement, for example, for Necromaid Nana is that the requirement you send this card face up from your field to your graveyard, and the effect is that you place one level 7 monster from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck and draw 2. Now on Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega, it does for all cards, it does start out with the traditional frame. So like if we go to standard, as you can see here, it also has the anime. So if you like the way the anime dub has it, to where it's just like the card effect, not the card effect, the card artwork, and then just like a box at the bottom, you can have that. But each of them start out like this. The requirement stuff still. Oh, did I change that correctly? Card. Yeah. Anyway, you can see it's more like this, like how we're used to. But I much prefer the rush layout, just because I think it, just because I think it looks cleaner. So anyway, 3 copies of Necromaid Carriage. It says send a no effect requirement. Send the bottom card of your deck to the graveyard. Then if you sent a zombie type monster from the deck from to the graveyard by this effect, you can special summon it face to your field. If you do, you cannot activate the effect of Necromaid Carriage this turn. Necromaid Nana, who is actually limited, I think due to a bunch of like deep draw deck shenanigans, Requirement, send this face up from the field to the graveyard, place a level 7 monster from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck and draw 2. 3 copies of Necromaid Cleaner. It says during your main phase that you normal or special summon this card. Send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. If the zombie type is among the cards sent, you can choose one spell trap card in your opponent's graveyard. Your opponent sets it to the field. Necromaid Cook. This one allows you to excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, send a zombie monster or a ritual spell to the graveyard, and then place the others on the bottom of the deck in any order. Necromaid Timer requires that you normal or summon this during your main phase. Send 2 face-up monsters whose original levels are 4 or lower to the graveyard. Special summon a Necromaid Carriage or a light attribute zombie type ritual monster from your graveyard face up to your field. You can only attack with zombies that turn. Necromaid Guard. Send the top card of your deck to your graveyard. Increase this card's level by 3 until the end of the turn. This turn, this face-up card can be treated as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of a zombie monster. The Necromaid Lantern. During the main phase, you normal or special summon this card. Set a Stitch or resize from your graveyard to your spell and trap zone. Necromaid Order. This allows you to activate the top cards of your deck and reveal an activated zombie type effect monster with 700 defense, like these all are. Or 1 ritual spell card in your hand. Place the others on the bottom of your deck in any order. You can only attack with zombie monsters, so it locks you. Zombie Fireworks. Reveal a level 5 or higher zombie in your hand. Any of these guys. Special summon up to 2 level 6 or lower zombie type monsters from your graveyard face to your field. Then set a level 5 or higher zombie from your hand to your graveyard. You can only attack with zombies that turn. 1 copy of Zombie Carnival. It's a field spell. They just gain attack and defense equal to the number of face-up zombies on the field times 100. Resize is the ritual spell. So you ritual summon a level 7 light attribute zombie type monster by sending face-up zombies from your field to the graveyard whose total levels equal 7 or more as material. You cannot use more than necessary. And it says this turn. Oh, no, that's Stitch. It's kind of hard to read. Let's put it. Yep, here it is. This turn, you can only attack with zombies, so zombie lock again. Necromaid Stitch allows you to summon Necromaid Lurker. Maid's Baneful Gift. When a monster on your field is destroyed by opponent's attack or their card effect, draw 2 cards, then special summon 1 Necromaid Nana from the graveyard. 2, the Cursed Cat of Counting Dishes. When opponent's level 9 or higher or lower monster declares an attack, we have a face-up level 7 or higher zombie on the field, you negate the attack. And 3 copies of Shared Sentiments. When your opponent normal summons a monster, shuffle 2 light attribute monsters from your graveyard into the deck. Choose a face-up light attribute monster in your field. This turn, that monster gains attack equal to the attack of that normal summon monster. It cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Next up, 3 of each ritual monster, 3 of Necromaid Reedy and 3 Lurker. Necromaid Reedy becomes Necromaid Nana in the graveyard. Requirement, shuffle a ritual or 3 zombie monsters from your graveyard into the deck. Return a face-up monster from your opponent's field to the hand. And Necromaid Lurker also requires that you shuffle a ritual or 3 zombie type monsters. Destroy 1 card in your opponent's field. Then you can inflict 700 damage to your opponent. Very cool. Very cool indeed. I thought there was something I'd seen earlier about zombies. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and get into the game against the Rush Duel AI. All right, so here we are on the Rush Duel battlefield. I'm also going to teach you all basically the basics of Rush Duel as well. So, oh, that was crazy. Anyway, there are 3 monster zones and 3 spell and trap zones for both player sides. If you are, I don't know what that dinging is. Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, just like if you're familiar with the format known as Speed Duel, if you've played Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, you'll know that it's also 3 there. So first, I'm going to set 2 Maid's Baneful Gift. And now, summon Necromaid Timer. Necromaid Guard. We're going to activate the effect of our Necromaid Guard. And then, Tribute Summon! And then, we're going to go ahead and send the bomb card. Ooh, Necromaid Order. So now we're going to end our turn. Sometimes they do this, or they won't do anything. So, as you can see, we have drawn up to 5 cards. We have drawn 5 cards. In Rush Duel, you will draw up to 5 cards every draw phase. There's also no main phase 2. But we'll get into that later. Meaning, everything you want to do during your main phase, get it done in your main phase 1. So, you can draw up to 5 cards per turn in Rush Duel. So if you have 2 cards left in your hand at the end of your turn, you'll draw 3. This basically turns it also into a bit of resource management. You want to try to empty your hand as much as possible in order to draw the maximum amount of cards, in order to draw the most cards that you can. And we're going to do that right now. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to summon Necromaid Cleaner. That Rush Duel is supposed to be basically quicker Yu-Gi-Oh! We're going to summon you. Then we're going to summon 3D off of you. And then to set this for next turn, then we're going to attack in. Down to 4,300. Back again. I'm going to stack off these 2. Excavate the top 4 using our Necromaid order. And we're going to get a Necromaid guard. Because I don't really feel like I'm summoning again. Oh, all level 7. And then, swing for game. So, what'd you think of that, huh? Pretty fun. I will admit, I've never really used Necromaids before. I think they're cool. I mean, who doesn't like zombie maids? But with that, let's go ahead and get to the next deck. Nothing really screams Halloween like demons and skulls. And luckily, we've got the perfect next deck for that. We're playing Summon Skull. So, what is Summon Skull like in Duel Links? Well, not in Duel Links, in Rush Duel. Well, Summon Skull is actually a little bit different. Let's look at our good old friend, Summon Skull. Level 6, 2500 attack, 1200 defense. The flavor text, a fiend with dark powers for confusing the enemy. Among the fiend type monsters, this monster boasts considerable force. Now I'm sure you can see there's a unique little tag at the top left corner of the card. Summon Skull, among many other cards, is what is known as a legend card. And what is a legend card? Well, many of these cards might seem familiar. Phantasm Spiral, Blue Eyes, Bourse Raider, Caius the Shadow Monarch, Grandmarg the Rock Monarch, the Creator, Magician's Valkyria, Dark Hole, Card Destruction, Mirror Force, Negate Attack. Legend cards are cards that are brought in from the Master Rule of Yu-Gi-Oh! From the trading card game and original card game, TCG, OCG, respectively. These are basically ways to bring in cards from that game. They might be a little too powerful in a format with infinite normal summons. Being able to bring out multiple cards like Summon Skull or Blue Eyes White Dragon in one turn might not be the healthiest gameplay option. So what do? They make them into legends. The way legends work is that you can only play one of each legend type per deck, meaning you can only have one legend spell, one legend trap, and one legend monster. So for example, I could do one Summon Skull, one Dark Hole, and one Drowning Mirror Force, for example. Now, actually, this has been changed because the way Rush Duel originally worked when it launched back in 2020 was that you could only have one legend card in total in your deck, meaning you could only have one Summon Skull, one Dark Hole, one Magic Cylinder, and that's it. So you had to pick and choose. But a couple years in, they changed that. So, but as we all know, in the main game, is it recording? Yeah, good, it's recording. Just making sure. You maybe weren't, well, how can I make a deck based around Summon Skull if I can play one Summon Skull? Well, that's where other cards come in. And we'll reveal that as we go on with our deck list. So, one Summon Skull, one Skull Archfiend of Armageddon. The way this works is that this card's name becomes Summon Skull in the hand or graveyard. So it's a way to sort of circumvent this. It's a 2 tribute monster. Requirement, send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. It becomes Summon Skull, then special summon a level 7 or lower normal monster from your graveyard to your field. 3 Skull Archfiend of Confusion. 1 Red Eyes Pluto Dragon. This has a built-in fusion summon effect. 1 Archfiend Spear Soldier. 2 Archfiend Spear Soldier. This allows you to destroy a monster on your opponent's field and draw a card if you have Summon Skull out. One Archfiend Messenger allows you to destroy a face-down card on your opponent's field if you have Summon Skull out. 3 Archfiend Warrior. This is not only a decent body, but it also allows you to mill some cards from your deck and also draw. 3 Red Eyes Jupiter Dragon, which allows you to get, to Red Eyes Jupiter Dragon or Red Eyes Pluto Dragon. Rogue of Archfiend. By sending a face-up Fiend monster from the field to the graveyard, you can choose up to 2 Fiends on your field, and they cannot be destroyed by trap effects. 1 Archfiend Shaman. By sending a Dark Attribute Fiend to the graveyard, you can draw a card, then reduce the level of 1 face-up level 3 or higher monster your opponent controls by 2 until the end of this turn. 3 Red Eyes Pluto Wyvern. This card's name becomes Red Eyes Black Dragon, and they hand to the graveyard. And by sending the top card of your deck, you can make 1 face-up effect monster on your opponent's field lose 300 attack to the end of the turn. Then you can add either a Pluto Dragon or Moon Dragon. 2 Class Change Mirror. By placing 1 other monster from your field on the bottom of the deck, you can special summon a Summon Skull from the graveyard, 1 Maku the Magical Mist, and 1 Masenko the Lashing Lightning. This, by choosing 1 face-up Summon Skull or face-up Thunder type monster on the field, destroy all monsters in your opponent's field with less defense than or equal to that monster's attack, but you cannot attack that turn. So if you're going first or second and you don't really want to attack, you can do that. Masenko the Lashing Lightning. If you have Summon Skull on your field, send a Fiend monster from your hand to the graveyard. Destroy all attack position, level 8 or lower monsters in your opponent's field. This turn you can't attack with effect monsters. 3 Meteor Flare Fusion, which will allow us to go into our fusion monsters by using Red Eyes Black Dragon, Summon Skull, or Meteor Dragon. If you special summoned a non-effect monster, like our friend Black Skull Dragon, you can destroy a card on the opponent's field. 2 Offering to the Archfiend. You can use that as basically a way to tribute our opponent's monster for Summon Skull. 2 Archfiend's Revival, which when Summon Skull or level 7 or higher Fiend type monster, normal monster on your field is destroyed by an opponent's attack, you special summon a normal monster from your graveyard to the field. 3 Archfiend's Thunderbolt allows you to destroy a card on the opponent's field when your opponent normal summons a monster while you have a level 6 or higher Dark Attribute Fiend. And 2 Maraime the Igniting Inferno. Lastly, for our extra deck, 3 Black Skull Dragon, 3 Black Skull Archfiend, and 3 Archfiend's Manifestation. Now, you may have noticed when I was talking about Legend monsters, you may have seen Red Eyes Black Dragon. But we're already, YG Omega's being a bit buggy, it sometimes does that. You may be wondering, well, if we can only play 1 Legend card, then how can we get out these monsters? Well, that's why cards like Skull Archfiend of Armageddon, or Red Eyes Moon Dragon, Red Eyes Jupiter Dragon, Red Eyes Pluto Dragon exist. Or really more so Red Eyes Moon Dragon of those examples. And so that way, it allows you to basically circumvent by having a monster become that monster's name. Now, you may have noticed in a lot of these, it didn't say special summon 1 Summon Skull or add 1 Summon Skull from your deck to your hand, for example. That's because the way archetypes work in Rush Duel is a little different. I'm going to show this with one of my favorite Rush Duel's archetypes, the 7/7's Road archetype. So, and we'll use 7's Road Witch and 7's Road Magician. 7's Road Witch is basically Rush Duel's premier version of Dark Magician Girl. It has an effect that by sending a card from the hand to the graveyard, you can special summon a level 7 or higher Dark Attribute spellcaster monster from your hand face up to your field. If you special summon 7's Road Magician by this effect, this card gains 400 attack. If this was in, say, the Master Rules game, it would just say basically special summon a 7's Road Magician. But in Rush Duel, they want to be more lenient, so you could use it to special summon any level 7 spellcaster. But you get a bonus if you do 7's Road Magician. So you could special summon 7's Fear Magician, Strong Boy 7's Road. You could special summon an Obsidian Magical Soldier. It's a level 7 spellcaster. So they be a bit more lenient while also trying to stick to the theme of the deck. But with that, let's go ahead and get into a game against the Rush Duel AI using the power of Summon Skull. All right, let's get into Summon Skull. So let's set our Thunderbolt, send a Meteor Flare Fusion. We're going to normal summon these 2. And send that guy to the graveyard, because why not? And pass turn. Even though I probably should have done that. Oh boy. Get an attack. We're going to activate Meteor Flare Fusion. Summon an Archfiend's Manifestation. Using Jupiter Dragon and Skull Archfiend of Armageddon. bring you back from Maraime, and we're going to attack into Torn of the Windweaver, because Torn of the Windweaver offers the most trouble. Not so fast. We're going to destroy you. Oh, Multi-Strike Dragon Dragus, that's a strong card, but we can counter. And also, we're stronger, so, you know. Set you, then... Let's see who's attack. Summon this guy. Nothing that we can excavate out. So we're just going to fusion summon another Archfiend's. Oh, nope. Guess okay. So now we're going to attack with these guys. Pluto or Moondragon. Okay. We haven't gotten a Pluto or Moondragon yet. Okay, Jinzo. Great. Oh, but look. Here he is. Summon you. Summon all these guys. Because after all, you should always use your whole hand in Rush Duel. Got him on the ropes now. Then we're going to return you. We're going to return you too. Oh. It's not. I thought we could. Then this should be enough for game. You can really see Summon Skull's unmatched battle prowess just going straight on in, straight to the throat for the kill. It really is more of an aggro deck, I believe, with how many high-level monsters and how many strong monsters you can pump out. But with that, let's go to our third deck. What'll that be? You'll just have to wait to find out. You know, nothing says spook and scare and shock and fear like a bunch of Fiend monsters. So that's what our next deck is. Just basically like generic Fiends. And it's also focusing in on a little bit of a zero attack monster strategy. You'll see as we get into the deck. So let's start with our normal monsters. Scare Chair Gear has 0 attack and 1200 defense. Babysitter Goat, level 1 with 0 1400. Scare Chair Bone and Scare Chair Saber. This Scare Chair Bone has 0 and Scare Chair Saber has 0 1400. Normal monsters in Rush Duel are actually pretty good. Unlike in the main game, how normal monsters are basically pack filler in bulk, or they're maybe used for like lore purposes. In here, in Rush Duel, normal monsters can be used as just like great walls in case maybe you brick and you don't have too good of a hand, in case you just need generic tribute fodder, what have you. Next up, 3. Dead End, the Mad Fiend of Despair, arguably one of the bosses of the deck. By shuffling 4 monsters from your graveyard into the deck, you can destroy 1 face-up, level 8 or lower monster on your opponent's field. Then, if you have 6 or more monsters with the same attribute in your graveyard, you can special summon a level 7 or lower monster from your opponent's graveyard to your field. 1 God Module Garzet. You can tribute this by tributing 3 effect monsters. And like many of the other Garzets that you've seen, or you might have seen, this gains attack equal to the total attack of those monsters tributed. This card that was normal summoned by tributing 3 monsters gains 800 attack. You can see in these brackets is basically where you would put like the stats of what you tributed. Next, Throne of Darkness, level 8, 0 2500. If you have 8 or more monsters with 0 attack in your graveyard, special summon a level 7 or higher monster with 0 attack from your hand in attack position. Dahut Abyss, Dark Matter Ruler of the Chair. Shuffle any number of monsters with 0 attack into the deck. Come on, Omega. There we go. I'm using my laptop, so I don't have a mouse, unfortunately, so I have to sort of walk my way around. Shuffle any number of monsters 0 attack from your graveyard into the deck. One other face-up monster on the field loses attack equal to the number of monsters shuffled by 300. Until the end of this turn, this card gains attack equal to the number of monsters shuffled into the deck to meet the requirement by 300 until the end of this turn. 1 Maju Garzet, 1 Great Maju Garzet, which is our legend card, 3 Multiply Skull, and also 3 Plus Skull for our 0 attack monsters. Eklicaras Dragon, or Dracon. This allows you to add a Dark Attribute Dragon or Fiend with 1200 defense from your graveyard to your hand, like Shadowbuyer. Shuffle one monster from your graveyard into deck, increase the card's level by the number of face-up monsters opponent field until the end of this turn. You can only attack with Fiends this turn. 3, Archfiend Shaman. By sending a Dark Attribute Fiend, you can draw a card, and then reduce the level of... Well, we've seen this already. Then Cobalt are only fire monster in the deck. By sending a Fiend type from your hand to the graveyard, you can draw a card. 3, Deadline the Mad Fiend of Despair. Or Deadline the Mad Fiend of Despair. Oh, I never added a dead end. Oh, no, that is dead end. Dead end's the big guy. And then lastly, 1 Scare Chair Relaxer, Scare Chair Code, Scare Chair Scale, 1 Darkness Rich Chair All, 1 Recurring Nightmare, one Collapsing Chairs, 1 Joining Chairs, and 1 Mirror Force. So you can see our goal is to not only attack the big attack monsters like the Garzets, but also to beef up our attack with some 0 attack point monsters. With that, let's get into a game. All right, let's get started, shall we? We're going to use our Cobalt. I'm going to send a Multiply Skull. I'm going to set Scare Chair Bone. I'm going to summon you. Send you to the graveyard. We're going to summon an Archfiend Shaman. Send you to the graveyard. So see, we're getting our graveyard slowly filled up. So we'll stop there. What we'll do is send our Grant Module Garzet. Then we're going to tribute you for that. Then I'm not going to attack with that guy just yet. I'm going to go in with my dead end, the Mad Fiend of Despair. Then I'm going to sack you off. Sack you. Then see, we boosted him by 3,500. Then we're going to go ahead. Oh, it decreases it. So then it gains it. So, I'm going to attack in each of you, and that's almost enough for game, or 500 points. Then, summon you. Then, with our last 1,000 attack, we're going to get on in. So you can see, you can get up to some pretty high numbers, especially with these 0 attack point monsters. I've always loved strategies that revolve around like the super weak monsters, like Rebo in the main game. Rebo's in this game too, I think it's like 3 bot and whatnot. But I really think it's neat to use really weak monsters and get really big numbers. There was this one deck that was prevalent in Duel Links. I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent. That there was this level 6 insect monster that gained attack equal to like the number of level 1 monsters in your graveyard. And if you've got a bunch of them in your graveyard, then you could really put out some high numbers. Well, with that, let's get into our 4th deck for Rush Duel review and our spooky inaugural episode. We're going to take a bit of a break from all the dark, spooky demons and do something a little bit different. Anyone want to see some fiends from hell? And no, I'm not joking. Our next deck up is the Blaze Fiends, which are a group of mostly maximum type monsters that are maximum type monsters that are fire attribute. Now, these have a lot of text on them because they are maximum monsters. And when we get into the games, I'll show you what maximum monsters are. It's the one thing that Rush Duel has that the regular game does not have. This is more of a pure, this is really like a pure Blaze Fiend deck because it only uses stuff that are Blaze Fiends and related to Blaze Fiends, because if we type fire attribute Fiend, see? Oh, no, already in the deck. Okay, never mind. A lot of these, it's sort of they sort of really haven't done much with Fire Fiends. Fire Fiend. Yeah, see, there's not really much. So with that, let's go ahead and do our deck discussion. 1 Blaze Fiend Overlord Lucilis, 2 Doom Blaze Fiend Overlord Disparition, 1 Blaze Fiend Overlord Zabulf, 1 Doomblaze Fiend Overlord Desperation L, 2 Desperation R, 3 Eternal Wolf of the Blaze Fiends, 3 Ultima Stallions, 1 Blaze Fiend Overlord Belusiteroth, 1 Belusiteroth L, 3 Bat of the Blaze Twin Fiends, 1 Belusiteroth R, 3 Police Hounds, 3 Guide of the Blaze Fiends, 3 Rage Serpent of the Blaze Fiends, 2 Blaze Fiend Assault, 2 Corruption of the Blaze Fiends, 2 Return of the Blaze Fiends, 3 Altar of the Twin Blaze Fiends, 1 Cage of the Blaze Fiends, and 1 Resurrection of the Blaze Fiends. In the extra, we have 3 Twin Blaze Fiend Angel Archel, and 3 Blaze Twin Fiend Angel Lunael. So, Blaze Fiends they're about destruction, like getting a lot of big bodies on your board. Because that's what maximum monsters really are about. So with that, let's get into a game. Alright, so we're here with the Blaze Fiends. So let's get started, shall we? We're going to normal summon the Luciteroth L. We're going to summon an Eternal Wolf of the Blaze Fiends. And then we're going to special summon our Zabulf. I gotta select these two. Let's send Desperation. Then we're going to use this effect to special summon this guy back. They're not in maximum mode yet, but don't worry. We should hopefully see some maximum mode. So we're gonna summon a Guide of the Blaze Fiends. Yep. Send 1 Bat of the Blaze Fiends to destroy the back row. We're gonna do Twin Ultra of the Blaze Fiends. We're gonna bring out our Chill. And almost summon a Bat of the Twin Blaze Fiends. That. Then you know what? Let's just Ritual Summon again. Why not? We'll do that, send that to the graveyard to gain some attack. And then, because why not, tribute these guys for Lucilis. Add Belusiteroth L to the hand. And then let's go ahead and attack. End of turn. Oh. Yep, and here's the issue. They have 0 defense, so it's a little strong, but it's okay. Hopefully we should be able to see some maximums soon. We're going to add Luciteroth. We're going to add a Lucilis. We're going to send that. We're going to add Desperation. Then, just so I don't get steamrolled, we're going to actually... Oh! We're going to add Desperation to the hand. But I'm not going to battle this turn because I want to save the battle for... And then we have Desperation. We have Desperation L. Now it's time for Desperation R. So, we'll set these. What is a maximum monster? A maximum monster is a really strong monster. However, in order to control this strength, it has been broken up into 3 different pieces. We have our middle piece. You'll know it's a maximum monster because not only will I have maximum in between where it's the monster type and if it's an effect monster, well, all maximum monsters are effect monsters, but it'll have maximum attack. And so that way you'll know if it's a maximum monster. And then it's 2 pieces, the right piece and the left piece. So, and this is considered a special summon. This is not a tribute summon, so you can do as many maximum summons per turn. So with that, let's take our Desperation L, Desperation R. Okay, cool. So, Doomblaze Fiend Overlord Desperation. This requires us having maximum monsters in the hand, which we don't have yet, but next turn, hopefully we will. 74,000 attack points, very strong. Oh, and look at that. 2 maximum monsters in the hand. Now, one thing you'll notice is that despite it staying on the middle zone, I cannot summon this level 4 monster. That's because these take up all 3 zones. So the only way you can get rid of a maximum monster is either have it be destroyed, tribute it, use it for a fusion summon or what have you, because there is actually one deck in Rush Duel, at least as of right now, at least the only one I know of, that uses maximum monsters as materials. It's called the Chemicalized deck, but we're not doing the Chemicalized deck right now. But we'll activate this effect, send the other 2 pieces of Desperation. We're going to destroy Torna, and since it's in maximum mode, we get to draw 2 cards. Now we can tribute it for an Eternal Wolf the Blaze Fiend, because despite it being 3 monsters in one, it is 1 monster. So we're just going to attack again. And let them draw. They can summon anything they want, but it's not going to help. Then we'll attack Illusion Strike Dragon Mirageous for game. So Blaze Fiends, it's a pretty strong deck. Its real issue is that it does rely a lot on maximum monsters. So if you don't have an ability to get a constant stream of maximum monsters into your grip to be able to use it for like effects or to summon, you might be a little out of luck. But if you can circumvent that, I think Blaze Fiends are actually pretty strong. Well, with that, let's get to our final deck. I can't believe it. We're already at the last one. We've seen many scary things. Demons, demons from hell, zombies, zombie maids, but we're at possibly the scariest thing. Space, final frontier. And what lies in space but dark matter? Our last deck for today is Dark Matter from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush animated series. And we'll be able to focus on fusion summoning today. So let's do our deck list. 3, Contact Dark Matter Voyager. 1, Void Velg Elysium. 1, Void Velg Requiem. There are some Dark Matter cards that work with the Void Velg cards. It's because in the show, in the Dark Matter Empire, or like the Dark Legion, one of the characters that uses the Void Velg cards, Zuijo Velgir, uses the Void Velg monsters. And so there's some crossover between Void Velgs and Dark Matter. 3, Dark Matter Dragon. 3, Dark Matter Mist. 1, Dark Matter Freya. 1, Hazardall. 1, Dark Matter Knight. 1, Dark Matter String. 3, Dark Matter Wyvern. 1, Dark Matter Voyager Omega. 1, Deep Badger. 2, Cradle. 2, Jelly. 2, Lockdoll. 3, Dark Matter Dead Shear. 3, Dark Matter Force. Dark Matter Storm. 3 copies of Fusion, which is basically our not polymerization, even though polymerization is in the game as a legend card. Fusion Summoning Rush Duel is actually different because you cannot use monsters from the hand unless it says so. If you're just using the card Fusion, monsters are required to be on the field. And then lastly, 2 Dark Matter Eliminate. In the extra deck, 1 Dark Matter Galaxy Dragon. You'll notice this says you can summon this via Contact Fusion. Contact Fusion works like how it does in the main game. By not using a fusion spell, you fusion summon it by the monsters making contact and going back into the deck. So 1 Dark Matter Galaxy Dragon, 3 Transcend Dragon, 1 Enignite Seeger, 1 Enigmite Geodiver, 1 Enigmata, 1 Elysium, 3 Emperor Dragon, and 1 Dark Matter Requiem. Now, given as this is more of a pure version, but you can also do a more like Void Velg hybrid because they are all Dark Galaxies, or you can do. I was gonna say you could do Outerverse, but you can't do that. You can't do Outerverse. Yeah, you can make this work with Void Velg, Can make this work with any dark attribute focused deck. Maybe not like sevens, but um, yeah. So you can have it work with dark monsters with galaxy decks. You can have it work in a lot of things. But with that, let's go ahead and get into a game. Our final game, actually. All right, we're here with Dark Matter. So Dark Matter Voyager, Dark Matter Jelly. We're gonna do. Actually, gonna stack you two face down. Send you to the graveyard, and now we'll have a full hand for next time. So you're not level 5, but someone wants to go to the graveyard. They need special money. Oh, send you to the grave, and then why not special summon you back? Do that. I think, what does Dark Matter Dragon? Dark Matter Dragon, contact Dark Matter Wyvern. Now I need Dark Matter contact Wyvern. Could do fusion. Or, ooh, Dark Matter Emperor Dragon. Decisions. Yep, we'll show contact fusion. So, contact fusion, you take 2 monsters on the field, shuffle them back into the deck. Boom, fusion monster. So meaning, you could have a deck that fusion summons without even using a fusion spell. Do that, and because we have a face down, we're going to destroy. I'll have to select these 2. We'll destroy those guys, and we'll get an attack boost. Attacking with you, and then for big old 5,900. And then that requires contact Dark Matter Voyager. The 2 Dark Matter Mists. For Emperor Dragon. Now fusion summon the big boy. So yes, if you do fusion summon using a contact fusion monster, it goes back to the extra deck. Well, that we're going to go ahead and swing in with Dark Matter Galaxy Dragon board game. So with that, I'll meet you back at the deck for our final roundup. So we're back, and yeah, wow. Dark Matter can be strong. Well, sort of strong, but with just how many high level monsters there are, um, you can brick. I'm thinking I might cut out the Voidvelg stuff. Just because if I'm playing Voidvelg, I like to keep stuff like separated. Actually, you know what? I think I might do that. So go away Requiem and Elysium. And we'll add. Gets recorded. We'll add. One of you and another one of you. We have Dark Matter Mist. Where's Dark Matter Mist? Oh, Dark Matter Mist. Yep. We have Dark Matter Mist. Dark Matter Deep Badger and Mist. Dark Matter Knight and Mist. To leave 1 Dark Matter Galaxy Dragon. I could add 2. Yep. All right, so I just cut those out because I think that'll make it better. But man, what a wonderful wide variety of decks we've shown off today, huh? From Demons in Hell to the Dark Reaches of Space to Zombie Maids to Skulls. It's definitely been a spooky episode of Rush Duel Review. But with that, I hope you enjoyed this inaugural episode of Rush Duel Review. I know it wasn't super in depth. I've got to get more in depth knowledge of these decks. I'm not really the most like competitive Rush Duel player, but uh, I like playing a lot of these decks. I play them definitely very casually, but I just got to get better at learning them. But with that, thank you all for watching the inaugural episode of Rush Duel Review. Have a great Halloween, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.